so today we're doing a really quick mini lesson on number lines and fractions. First thing we need to make sure that when we do number lines for fractions that they are that you place a 0 on the left hand side and a 1 on the right hand side, because a fraction is part of one whole, so it is less than 1. Another thing is, when we do equivalent fractions on number lines, you need to make sure that these two number lines are about the same size and same length, because fractions and equivalent fractions, we want to make sure that they are equal in size to make sure that we can compare that, yes, those are equivalent fractions. So first we're going to start with just placing fractions on number lines. So we're going to place 1/4, and what we do on a number line is we draw 0 and 1, and then what we do is we look at the denominator. It's 4, and we're going to partition this line into fourths. So I'm going to try to make them as equal as I can. So 1, 2, it's over equal 3. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, because if I were to draw like a box, they're not very equal, but I would have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you want to draw 3 lines on that number line, which I'm going to kind of do that again. They were very equal. Okay, and I'm going to find 1/4. So this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. That equals to 1 whole. So this is 1/4. Okay, and my equivalent fraction, I used the method I taught you yesterday. I multiplied, I just chose a number. I chose 3, and I multiplied the numerator and the denominator by 3. And I went across. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So the 1/4 equivalent fraction is 3/12. So that's why that's 3/12. So when we do equivalent fractions on number lines, we need to, again, make sure they're about same size. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm going to take my pink marker and I'm going to partition this line into 12ths. So that means 11 lines. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not super great at this, but because if I were to put a box, that means I'd have 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, 12/12, which equals 1. Okay, so I want to find 3/12. So here's 1/12, 2/12, 3/12 right here. Okay, so I can tell these are equivalent fractions because they both land about the same place on a number line. Okay, remember, fractions and number lines, it's in between 0 and 1 because a fraction is less than 1 whole. Okay, so again, these are about the same size. I need to get better at partitioning them in equal sizes, but let's go ahead and do another one. I'm going to erase. Okay. Let's do, I always draw my number lines first. It's just easier to get them out of the way, and I kind of want to make them nice and big. Okay, they're about the same size, not perfect, but okay, I'm going to choose a fraction. I'm going to choose 2/4, and I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make an equivalent fraction. I'm going to multiply this by, let's go 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, so my first one, I need to partition it into fourths because that's the denominator. So I'm going to partition to fourths. Ready? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one is 8/16. So now I have to partition it into 16ths because that's my denominator. So little lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lines. Okay, 2/4 is here. It's the halfway point. Because I go 1/4, 2/4. Now I find 8/16. So I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're about the same place. So these are equivalent fractions. All right, let's do one more. All right, yeah. go ahead and let's choose 1/3, and let's draw a number line. Let's draw both of them. Sammy's crying and Mr. Grant's making a bottle. Say hi, Mr. Grant. Say hi.
Hi, kids.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and, so this is 1/3, so we're going to partition it in 2/3 because 3 is the denominator. It's telling us to partition, so we go 1, 2. You just need 2 lines. So that's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. I'm going to come over here. Mr. Grant's doing awesome at taking care of Sammy and Christopher while I try to do this. Okay, so I'm going to choose a number. I'm going to say, let's go 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so we're going to write equivalent fraction of 1/3 is 3/9. Okay, and I'm going to place that on a number line. Oh, forgot to mark this one. 1/3. Okay, I'm going to partition into ninths, so that's 8 lines. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, those are not equal. That's okay. Let's try that again. That one's not very good. It's kind of hard to hold the phone and do these. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're not super equal. They're really off. Sorry, one more time. They're really off. 0, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are so much better. Okay. See? Just 3 times the charm. Okay. So I have 1/9, 2/9, 3/9, 4/9, 5/9, 6/9, 7/9, 8/9, 9/9, because that's 1. So I'm going to find 3/9. 1, 2, 3. Okay, they're about the same. So those are equivalent fractions on a number line. You can continue practicing making equivalent fractions today using multiplication. There's actually another way I wanted to show you. You're not going to do this on your assignment today, but I just wanted to show you. If you have a fraction with a pretty big denominator, so let's say 4/12, okay? What's a common number that we can divide both these numbers by? Okay, so I know that 2 can go into 4 and 2 can go into 12, so I'm going to actually use division. This is kind of just if you want to challenge yourself. So it's like multiplication, instead you're dividing though. So you're making it smaller, you're not making it big, you're going to make it smaller. So 4 divided by 2. Well, 4 goes into 2 2 times. I got to draw my line. 12 divided by 2. Well, 2 can go into 12 6 times. So 4/12 is an equivalent fraction of 2/6. Okay, division's, remember, the opposite of multiplication. So instead of making this original fraction bigger, you're going to make it smaller. Okay, so that's just an extension activity, parents, or that is a challenge for those students that say, hey, equivalent fractions with multiplication is pretty easy. I want to try something different. So again, this has nothing to do with your assignment today. That's just a little bit of an extension. Okay, so I'll see you guys later.